right, and boom, we're live.
Boom,
MMA
we're live.
Complete, episode something like 12, I think. This is going to be the first one that we're
12 or
actually live streaming.
Yeah, 12 or 13, second live stream.
Oof. Making plays, stepping up in the world.
Live streams.
So we are your hosts. I'm Zach Drapo.
Austin, Garvey.
We are going to be talking a lot today. We're going to be talking about all of the MMA stuff that happened last week, and we're going to be talking about a lot of fights that are going to be coming up in the next 2 months. Real quick, for station identification, you're watching MMA Complete on SFBNRI. If you want to check us out, go to sfbnri.com. That's sfbnri.com. So we're going to jump right into it. Last week, Israel Adesanya. What a killer.
Dude, oh my God. I think I've watched a couple people on Twitter, and they said he might have went from a superstar to a legend. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean,
just because of his wins in his past couple fights, dude, it's impressive the lineup that he has.
It really is, and not only that, but he's doing it in such a short amount of time. In the 5 or 6 fighters that he's beaten, the likes of Paulo Costa, Yoel Romero, Kelvin Gastelum, Robert Whitaker, and I'm forgetting one, Derek Brunson. He's beaten them all in 2.5 years.
Yeah. I mean,
that's a crazy.
Yeah, and he's also 20-0. So, I mean, you can't really. He's undisputed.
He's 20-0. He's 9-0 in the UFC. Joining Kamaru Usman, who's the welterweight champ, at 12-0. Those Nigerian-born champs in UFC, they're killing it right now.
Killing it. What did you say? What are they? 26-1.
There's 4 Nigerian-born UFC fighters right now on the UFC roster, and they're like 26-1.
Yeah, and one of them's 1-1.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, and 2 of them are champions. So I mean, like.
Right. And of course, if you don't know, we're talking about UFC 253, which just happened over last weekend. There was a couple other fights. The other main one being the new light heavyweight champion, which, if you've been listening to the podcast for the last couple of weeks, you know that we were heavy on Dominic Reyes, and unfortunately, Jan Blachowicz came away with the upset win. You watched that fight. I didn't even watch that fight. What did you think of it?
Oh. Hang on.
All right, so what really happened was Dominic Reyes and Jan Blachowicz kind of went at each other. It was really like an animalistic fight. All right. Well, he's figuring it out. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties. It's all good. But Israel Adesanya, and actually, I was just talking about Reyes and Blachowicz. So Dominic Reyes was going into this fight the heavy favorite. And Jan Blachowicz was a big underdog. Dominic Reyes, before this fight, previously went 5 rounds with John Jones, and he barely lost. So going into this fight, I thought that he was a shoo-in to win. And then Jan Blachowicz just said, no, I'm going to go ahead and take it. He went batshit on him. He was able to close the fight out in the second round with a TKO victory. It was crazy. I believe it was a left hook that originally stunned him, and then he hit a kick, and it was all over after that. So Jan Blachowicz is your new light heavyweight champion, and Israel Adesanya is still the middleweight champion. I think Austin's back. How you doing over there, buddy?
I don't know.
What's going on? Is it bad internet?
I think so.
I can hear you fine now.
Yeah, I know. I think it's just in and out.
All right, well, you seem good right now.
All right. I think we're good right now.
All right, so I just went over Reyes Blachowicz, and now we can talk about Israel Adesanya a little bit. How badly did Adesanya beat Costa?
I think he landed 1 punch. Oh. I think he landed 1 punch.
Was it really? Dude. I didn't even realize that.
No, it wasn't 1 punch, but I mean like a solid 1 punch, but I think it wasn't even really a competition, dude. Like he made it look easy. It was like Paulo Costa was afraid to get close, which everybody kind of expected, and Oh my god, I don't know why it keeps doing this.
Well, so the big factor that we had talked about before the fight was that Israel Adesanya had an 8-inch reach advantage over Paulo Costa. That was the really big decisive factor that made shit that we knew that Adesanya was basically going to win. Adesanya, like Austin said, kind of made a pretty big leap. Maybe not in the mixed martial arts world because he already was that guy, but maybe in the social media world and in the public's eye, he made that leap from a great UFC fighter to a legendary UFC fighter. His name is now getting put in with the John Jones, the Anderson Silvas of the UFC world, which, if you didn't know, are two of the greatest of all time, if not the two greatest of all time. And Israel Adesanya he's a little bit different from both of them, and quite possibly the biggest difference is what makes him so unique and so special. And that is that he may be the most technically gifted stand-up striker that we have ever seen in the UFC. Whether it be stand-up boxing, whether it be kickboxing, Israel Adesanya is on another level. Now, if you want to go back and check the stats, you can see that Adesanya is 75-4 in just kickboxing promotions. He's 20-0 in the UFC, and he's something like, I want to say 5-0 in boxing. So altogether, 104 record. So this guy, it's nothing new that this guy's special, but how special is kind of been crazy. He had just a dominant victory this week. Like, if you haven't seen the fight, I'm pretty sure that you can go watch it on ESPN, or I'm sure you can YouTube it by now. There's probably some clips up, but it was pretty much a slaughtering, and he ended up taking his back in the second round, finished it from there. And actually, what happened after the fight is also pretty intriguing. As we get Austin back up in here. What's up, buddy? You just caught me in time. I was going to go over. Hey, there he is. All right.
I'm here, so, I think.
I was just about to talk about Adesanya's action.
I'm here.
Right. Well, we got you here. What'd you think of what Adesanya did to Costa after he won the fight?
After he won the fight? Oh, what? Trash talking?
No, he basically dry humped him in the ring.
Oh yeah. No, that was funny.
And
he also went
Adesanya, like I said, he finished Costa from the back. Yeah, so he finished him from the back mount position, which is he was just on. Adesanya was basically standing up. He was over Paulo Costa, who was on his stomach, and just raining down shots. The referee stopped it, and Adesanya basically humped him to show his dominance. I don't really know how else to put it, but it was kind of a classless act, but it was also hilarious. I guarantee you, no one's ever done that to Paulo Costa before. I think. But that's neither here nor there. One thing that we can transition to that I really want to talk about Israel Adesanya is his upcoming feud with quite possibly the greatest ever. And if this fight happens, it could be the fight that decides who's the greatest ever, and that is with John Jones. Yeah, we're losing Austin here, so I'm going to take him off for a second. So we have Israel Adesanya versus John Jones is likely in the works next. All right, and that will be our point of topic when we come back. I'm going to shoot to a commercial real quick. So a pause for station identification. You're watching MMA Complete with Zach Drapo on the SFBN Rhode Island Network. Visit us on sfbnri.com, and we will see you in 30 seconds to a minute. All right, and we're back. My co-host Austin is getting situated, and we should have him back on the live stream real soon. For now, what I was talking about before we went to break is the future probable match that's going to come up between Israel Adesanya and John Jones. There's more than a couple, but there's a lot of intriguing things. What's up?
No, I'm just looking for a chair.
All right, there's a couple intriguing things that are going to happen if this fight does come down. One, it's going to be marketed as who's the best of all time because Dana White is smart and that's how he would advertise it to get the most views. So that's what he'll do. And is it fair to say that the winner of that is the greatest of all time? Probably. Yo, left one.
This one?
Yes. And so Adesanya is new to the sport. Could he, if he beats John Jones, does he have a claim to the greatest of all time?
Yes.
There you go. Probably. John Jones already probably is the greatest of all time, so you know he has the claim.
Yes.
Here comes the question. Can Adesanya beat John Jones?
Yes.
You think so?
Yeah. With one leg kick.
So my co-host does believe that Adesanya can beat John Jones.
If John Jones gets him to the ground, you know what I mean?
If John Jones gets him to the ground, it's over. John Jones is a Greco-Roman,
I know.
He has collegiate wrestling experience, all that shit.
But no fighter wants to get close to Adesanya.
John Jones has gone toe-to-toe striking 5 rounds with the greatest mixed martial artists of all time. You know, whether you want to say Rashad Evans, Lyoto Machida, Daniel Cormier twice, Thiago Santos, Dominic Reyes, Jan Blachowicz, the new light heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
If you want to go back all the way to, like, Quentin Rampage Jackson, you know, he's beaten them all.
I mean, Dominic Reyes just lost 2 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
Jan Blachowicz, which we both probably can. But we can both agree that John Jones would beat Blachowicz.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
100%.
So,
but Adesanya would kill Jan Blachowicz too. So another thing that is intriguing about this potential matchup, we're talking about John Jones and Israel Adesanya's potential matchup, is that here he is. So another thing that we're talking about between this potential matchup is that John Jones was talking about going to heavyweight.
I know.
And now
Wait.
Look at the screen.
I'm messing with you.
Yeah. So he's gonna stay a light heavyweight, and Adesanya's gonna go up. And you know what that means? Adesanya won't be too skinny. He won't be skinny, bro.
I mean, John Jones's legs are pretty skinny.
Yeah, I think Adesanya's officially abolished that argument in MMA that you can be too skinny. I think Royce Gracie disproved that years ago, and I think Adesanya just reaffirmed it in everyone's eyes.
Yeah, I mean, you know how many leg kicks that Adesanya got on Costa? 27.
Was it 27?
27 low leg kicks, dude. I mean, I don't know if you saw his legs, but
I didn't.
Well, you were working, but bro, they were literally bleeding. They were
really
bleeding. Yeah, I mean, like devastating leg kicks, insane. Like
that's so funny.
Like 27, and you look at Sean O'Malley, 1. It took him 1. You know, I mean.
Well, that's just the risk of fighting, though. That could happen. You know, Sean O'Malley, we haven't gotten this confirmed, but we're almost 100% sure that Sean O'Malley got kicked right in the center of a nerve.
Yeah,
that came right after he was kicking Cheeto Vera in the first place.
Kicked in the nerve. The fighter's toe went into it was a weird freak thing. Like the toe went into the I don't know, weird spot and directed it to the nerve. Direct hit. That's why he got that kick. And his ankle was rolling.
Right. And so, I mean, we're going to have opposing matchups to this, I think, because I know you watched a good amount of John Jones. I don't know if you've watched the amount of John Jones fights that I have.
No, I haven't watched the earlier fights of John Jones.
But then again, that does just give me more bias because, I mean, John Jones is technically in his prime. He's like 31 years old. Yeah. But if you saw this guy when he was 24, he was like the greatest of all time when he was 24 years old.
Yeah.
You know, when he was beating all the legends of the sport and no one had an answer for him.
Let me try and readjust this. Boom.
Boom. And so here's the other intriguing part. This is the one that I purposely saved for you finally getting on. The Twitter battles. That's going to be the most interesting part of this
Twitter
entire
battles.
fight. Can you talk about that for 1 second? I'm going to mute my mic.
Yeah. The Twitter battles are, I mean, Adesanya was talking about John Jones' mom. I mean, that's pretty. You can't get more disrespectful than that. And then John Jones went on a rant because Adesanya wasn't responding to him or whatever. And if I could use my phone, I could go on Twitter right now. But it was it's a good lead up to a fight that will probably not happen, but it's a good discussion. Because like I feel like John Jones would want an extraordinary amount of money to fight Adesanya. I think it would have to
10 mil.
10.
That's what he said.
I know
10 mil.
10. I know he wants 10 mil, but what is he? He has a lot more to lose than to gain, and like I think it only benefits Adesanya more than it would John Jones.
I think
in legacy. What did you say?
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
No,
I
you can't even hear me.
You
You can hear me from this. I got a 2, 1. All right. Now I think you can hear me. So I think John Jones' legacy will get hurt less if Adesanya.
Yeah.
I think Adesanya has more to lose.
No way.
I do. Because John Jones is already the greatest.
I don't.
He's already the greatest. He's already on a 16-fight
so
win
he
streak.
would have more to lose if he's already the greatest, wouldn't he?
But there's still an argument. Even if John Jones loses to Adesanya, there's still an argument that John Jones is the greatest ever. If Adesanya loses to John Jones, there's no argument that Adesanya is the greatest ever. You know what I mean?
There is an argument that he. What do you?
Like
He just beat the greatest of all time. There is an argument that he is the
no,
greatest
but
ever.
if Adesanya loses,
Oh, if he loses, yeah, but he doesn't think he's gonna lose.
right? Well, no one does. Yeah, of course.
That's
I-
what I mean. That's why it's so crazy. I mean, if he really wanted to prove, it makes total sense. It makes total sense.
I agree with you.
I agree. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, the lag again.
Dude, it's just the Wi-Fi goes in and out. Like even on my computer it went in and out.
So basically,
My mic. I appreciate that.
So basically, yeah, every time you have, I have. So basically, Adesanya is the new king. He's the guy threatening John Jones' position. I mean, I've already said that I think Adesanya has more to lose. Not saying that John Jones doesn't have anything to lose, because whoever loses this fight, if it happens, remember this hasn't been scheduled. Whoever loses this fight is going to significantly have their reputation damaged, as any loss in a fight would distinguish. How you doing over there?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's still cutting out.
Yeah. It's okay now.
First show, everybody. We'll eventually get this down. We'll be all right.
Second.
Yeah, first one that we're actually doing it from my house, which anyway. So we have a couple more fights that we want to talk about. We talked about Adesanya Costa, Jones Adesanya. Is there anything else you want to talk about, Jones Adesanya? No. By the way, you were frozen on a great picture of yourself.
I know. I noticed.
Yeah. So
Horrendous.
Not getting better.
I don't know why it is. Like, why is my computer connected but your phone's not?
I think it's because you were already connected before me, and it's just an added line.
You think so? At least I'm not lagging. I don't mean that in a dick way, but like,
Oh yeah.
imagine if we both were, this would suck. So weird.
Can you still hear it? Like
Can I still hear what?
that noise?
Well, I have you muted right now, but yeah, I
good,
think
yeah.
so.
All right, then keep going.
The last thing I want to say about John Jones Adesanya. We've seen Adesanya truly tested once, and that was against Kelvin Gastelum, and it was in the third round. Adesanya got his ass whooped in the third round. I'm pretty sure that's the last round in a UFC fight that Israel Adesanya's lost. And that was about a year. I think it was a full year ago. It was just about this time. Yeah, it was just about this time last year. It might have been November. John Jones, we've seen tested several times. Not to say that he gets his ass kicked a lot, but like his last two fights in the light heavyweight, Thiago Santos and Dominic Reyes, both of those fighters won a couple rounds and they tested John Jones. Before that, we see Alexander Gustafsson really test John Jones. We saw Vitor Belfort tear his arm in a fight, and John Jones ended up winning in it. So we've seen John Jones test himself and come back and do a lot better several times. As I'm gonna re-invite Austin. We're gonna get this to work, 100%.
I know.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
And we haven't really seen
even wanna
Adesanya
join-
face adversity.
I don't even want to join with my phone. I don't want to hear that noise. So
You want to try? See if you get it on your email again.
It does it like every 7 minutes. Not even.
Did you check your Gmail again
Oh yeah, no.
on your computer?
Oh no, I'm getting it.
Word.
I'll try it on my computer. But it's saying I have no internet.
That's not what I meant.
Okay.
Hey, just in case you were wondering, for the two people viewing, MMA Complete. That's where you're watching. So the next thing that we were going to talk about, I was going to save this for our next commercial break, but I think we can probably get it in before that. Conor McGregor is back. Conor McGregor is going to be having a mixed martial arts exhibition bout. Dana White is currently trying to get him scheduled for this current fight that we are going to talk about in the UFC. But as of right now, it is just exhibition MMA mount that all proceeds will be donated to charities of each fighter's pick. I know Jorge Masvidal and I believe Stipe Miocic have talked about donating to Dustin Poirier's charity already, which is amazing.
They have.
Right. And I just let the cat out of the bag. Conor McGregor is going to be fighting Dustin Poirier, who I believe Conor's 5th in lightweight right now, and Poirier's 4. So it's a huge lightweight matchup.
Yeah.
Um.
Is Conor 5 though?
Yeah. No, he shouldn't be, but he is.
Yeah.
Right. In the most stacked division of all, Conor should not even be ranked because he hasn't fought in. Well, he fought in January, but he only beat Cowboy in 40 seconds. But yeah, Conor McGregor's going to be back, and that exhibition match will be only the second fight since Conor McGregor originally joined UFC way back, and I believe it was like 2008, 2009. It will be his second fight back in Dublin, Ireland. For anybody watching this, know that it will be absolutely insane to be there. The crowd reaction and the atmosphere there is going to be unbelievably hometown bias for Conor McGregor, like something we probably never seen before, which is going to be really cool to see. I remember his last fight. I think he fought Chad Mendes. I'm pretty sure it was Chad Mendes in Dublin, and it was like nothing you ever heard before. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it's Chad Mendes. But anyway, Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier is a matchup we have already seen. Conor McGregor did beat Dustin Poirier 6-ish years ago. I believe 6 years ago. I'm sorry, I'm slipping on the dates right here. I can look it up in a second. But Dustin Poirier gave him a good challenge, and then Conor McGregor ended up winning by unanimous decision. I do know that. This is back when Conor was in his absolute prime, when he was just murking dudes and there was nobody that could stop him. Before Israel Adesanya was the best striker on the planet, Conor McGregor was the best striker on the planet. And this was right in the middle of his prime. And so that fight has some implications. And let me, real quick, say hey. Say something.
Hey.
All right, so they can hear you a little bit. So let me ask you this.
Okay.
And I think I know the answer, and I should know the answer. Do you want to just, like, come sit over here? We can just do it from the same screen?
Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, if you want, we totally could.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. This bout, McGregor-Poirier 2, which will be not in the UFC, it will be an exhibition match. Do you think that the winner You think the winner will have their ranking increased in the UFC, even though it's not a UFC fight?
Say that again.
All right, so say
Do you-
McGregor beats Poirier in this exhibition fight. Do you think his UFC ranking will get changed?
What, 4 to 5?
Yeah. You think it will?
Yeah.
I think it has to be.
I think
don't
it
know if
has
it's
to
a
be. I don't know
definite.
why it wouldn't be.
Well, it's not a UFC regulated bout. That's the only reason I would say it. But like, I would think that they would, because Dana ultimately has control over that shit. So like, I think that it would be.
Yeah, I think you have to, and I think Poirier is. It's going to be a great matchup.
It is going to be a great matchup. Dustin Poirier's so much better.
I know. Well,
no, he's so much better than what he was when they first fought. That's what I meant to say. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, 10 years ago.
Poirier is a tough son of a gun. He fought Dan Hooker on one of the fight nights. I'm pretty sure we watched that one. Hooker versus Poirier. And Poirier looked like he was done in the second round, and then he whooped his ass for the last 3 rounds. Like he was just tough as nails. He just kept coming, getting hit, kept coming.
Yeah.
And so, I mean,
Poirier submission?
No, he's a striker. This is going to be a striking match. Yeah, 100%. Poirier can wrestle. He can wrestle. So you might see like maybe his game plan is to like clinch him, because Conor's always not been.
You better do something, dude. I mean, it's striking. I think striking against Conor McGregor is definitely not a.
It's not the wisest move.
No. Definitely isn't the wisest move because first of all, he's lefty. He's crafty. He's technique. He's all about accuracy. He's not about power too. So.
I know people have said that Conor's overrated.
He's been knocked down once.
And to a certain extent, Conor is a little overrated. But if you want to talk about boxing, if you want to talk about pure boxing ability, Conor McGregor might be the best boxer in the UFC. He probably is.
Yeah, I mean, he boxed Floyd Mayweather.
Right. And he didn't do a terrible job.
He did not do a terrible job, no.
So you can talk about, like, some other boxers. Like, Jan Blachowicz is a great boxer. John Jones is a great boxer. Daniel Cormier is a great boxer. Yeah. You have then, like, the Michael Bispings. And if you want to go lower, you have, like, the Cody Garbrands and the TJ Dillashaws. But Conor McGregor is at least the most accurate boxer in the UFC. Gaethje, too, is another one, absolutely. And we're going to get to that soon. Isn't it
crazy? We've talked about this on the podcast before, but it's crazy that he's an all-state wrestler. 0 takedowns in the UFC. 0.
Well, I think
0.
It is crazy.
And it's like he's not even been tested for it. So, like, him and Khabib, dude, it's like, what's going to happen?
Gaethje has been knocked out. Gaethje does not have the flawless record of so many other contenders. Gaethje's being built up as if he didn't have a flawless record.
Yeah.
Or as if he did have a flawless record, but he doesn't. He lost to...
Not at all.
Who did he lose to?
I don't know, but
we're going to get into that matchup in a little bit anyway.
Yeah.
We got a couple other things to talk about. First being... actually, we didn't even mention the second part about McGregor.
McGregor-Pacquiao.
So McGregor...
I know it's more about boxing, but it's MMA boxing.
Before the McGregor-Poirier exhibition bout was announced, which I'm pretty sure was only yesterday.
Yes,
I'm pretty sure
it was right after the fight.
We're going
right after the fight.
It was Saturday,
right after the pay-per-view was over.
So we're really
it snuck under the radar.
I think that was under the radar. I think it was rumored then, but I only think it was announced officially. Yesterday.
I'm really not sure. But...
So we're going live October 1st, and this fight has only been actually announced for a couple days. Before all this, Conor McGregor tweeted that he was going to box Manny Pacquiao in the Middle East. That was his tweet.
Yes.
I know the Middle East does a lot of promotions with the WWE too, in which they just get paid like a motherfucker. The WWE last year had a pay-per-view with Cain Velasquez, Brock Lesnar, and Tyson Fury.
So I can't stand WWE.
Yeah, no, I can't watch that shit.
Oh my god, dude.
I liked it back in the day. I was a big WWE guy back in the day. Stone Cold.
I know.
Yeah. But anyway.
You used to dye your hair.
So, Pacquiao and McGregor having a boxing fight. First of all, Conor McGregor's 35, 36. Manny Pacquiao is like 48.
He's done.
Pacquiao also fights at like 145, 150. McGregor's last UFC fight was 170.
All right, now let's sneak into this. Tyson or Roy Jones?
Tyson, right?
I don't know. I don't know.
It has to be Tyson.
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
I'll tell you this.
Every real fight Tyson's had, he's lost, and I think it's going to be Roy Jones.
You can't say that. Every real fight Tyson's had since he lost to Buster Douglas, he's lost. Sure. And that's not even true because he came back and he beat a couple guys before he ran into Vander Holyfield.
Next fight.
Vander Holyfield's going to come back next year.
Yeah, I know.
We'll see. We'll see.
The trilogy, dude. I'm telling you.
Like, why?
Why? Because
it's the money.
People
of course
need
it's
money.
It's always
people
money.
need the fucking cheddar. They need that. They need it.
Let me ask you this.
Why do you think Floyd Mayweather's fighting Logan Paul, dude?
Oh, I
Logan
forgot
Paul.
about that. I was going to get into how I would rather see McGregor Mayweather too. Before I saw McGregor Pacquiao. Wouldn't you rather? Or do you want to see McGregor Pacquiao because you think McGregor might actually win?
I want to see who's going to win, Jake Paul or Nate Robinson.
Yeah, that's one too.
Nate Robinson.
Do you think Logan Paul Mayweather is going to be on the same card as all these? We're going to bring that to you next week. We haven't done our due diligence about that.
No, it's not.
That would be awesome.
No, it's going to be its own.
Yeah, 100% will. Yeah, Mayweather.
You know how much money they're going to make, dude? Oh, my God.
Logan Paul's going to get his ass beat and enjoy doing it.
2 idiots making a dumb amount of money. I can't stand it.
Dude, not Connor. Floyd, I'm pretty sure that fight went 9 rounds, I think. So I'm pretty sure Floyd made $50 million per 3 minutes in that fight.
It's a damn shame.
That's $2 billion an hour. If you figure out logistically.
I need to take a sip of water.
All right, so
Dude,
we've gone over both McGregor things real quick. Who you got?
$100. Huh?
What did you say?
So I bust my ass for $100. Never mind, 50 million in 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Oh my God.
Who you got? McGregor, Pacquiao.
Pacquiao.
Really? I got McGregor. I think McGregor.
Oh my God.
I really do. Dude, Pacquiao's like 48.
Did you not just see what happened with Floyd, dude? Everyone thought.
Yeah, well, McGregor's going to come into this next boxing fight, and he's not going to tire himself out in the first 4 rounds now because he knows that's what he did against Floyd. He has more experience, you know what I mean? Not a lot, but he has enough that he can take some shit away. Pacquiao is also more conditioned than Floyd is, or at least he was 10 years ago.
I'd have to see. Show me the numbers.
All right. We're going to take another commercial. Once again, you're watching MMA Complete with Zach Drapo and Austin Garvey. SFBNRI, SFBNRI.com if you want to check us out. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and we will be right back. Thanks. And we're back. Zach Drapo and Austin Garvey, thanks for joining us. All right, so first things first. We have 3 upcoming bouts that we're going to talk about that are going to be coming up in the next month. But before that, we're going to talk about the hometown favorite that will be fighting in 3 days' time? 3 days' time. So this podcast is brought to you from a little town called Tiverton, Rhode Island, on the other side of Rhode Island from most of my other colleagues at SFBNRI. Right across the pond, or right across the street from Tiverton, Rhode Island, Fall River, Massachusetts. If you haven't heard of it, it is the birthplace and the hometown of one of the fighters in the co-main event of the next UFC fight night, and that is Yorgan De Castro. Yorgan De Castro, if you haven't heard of him, his most recent bout was a loss to Dan Hardy, who is the ex-NFL player, in another co-main event. I want to say it was like June. So De Castro actually broke his toe in the first round against Dan Hardy. And then after that, basically had no offensive move because you can't really – what are you going to do? You're going to risk getting your front leg kicked, or you're going to try to put pressure on it and put it behind you. So he couldn't really do anything. He lost the fight. He did look great in the first round before he broke his toe. But now he has his chance at redemption as he will be taking on –
It's a great excuse.
It is a great excuse.
It's
He'll be
a,
taking
it's a
on
wonderful excuse, and like it gives like more hype
right.
to this fight. So,
It absolutely
like,
does.
you know what I mean?
Like
So
this guy has a loss, but does
I'm-
he really? And if
he doesn't really have a loss,
if
dude.
he didn't lose that fight, he'd be 7-0.
I don't think it's a loss. I really don't think it's a loss, and
so
I think
he's-
this fight proves if it was a loss or not. I think.
See, I agree and disagree. I agree because he has a second chance, and hopefully he doesn't have any major injuries in the middle of the fight, so we can really see what he's like.
Yeah.
But on the other end, he's fighting a guy who's more impressive than Dan Hardy, I would say. This guy, Carlos Felipe, is 8-1.
Yeah, I know.
Dan
They're
Hardy's
both-
only like 4-3.
Yeah.
Jorgen Castro is going to
he's
have
younger.
what?
He's younger.
He's 8 years younger, and Carlos Felipe is going to have a 1-inch reach advantage, which, as far as reach advantage goes, that's not much. Yeah, that's not the 8-inch reach advantage that Adesanya had.
I don't know
But
if you can see my face, but
we don't
I don't
have
know.
we don't have too much to say about this other than we're rooting for you to Castro, repping the hometown.
We're gonna talk about that last, but
Are we going to talk about that more? I don't really have too much else to
no,
say.
I don't really have too much else to say. I just hope he wins.
All right, so three
first
fights.
First fight was a knockout, right?
Jorgen Castro, he
Yeah.
has 2 knockouts in UFC.
Yeah, first round.
I'm not 100% sure. That sounds right.
Okay.
You know what? Yeah, first round knockout. It was crazy ass shit.
I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was.
All right, next. So we have the next pay-per-view main event, which we'll save for last. We already touched on it real quick. December 19th. December 19th.
My tan line looks so bad.
December
So
19th, we will see another fight from Khamzat Chimaev. This will be his 4th fight since the beginning of June. So 4th fight in 6 months.
He could go for the record. I'm pretty sure. Most wins in a year.
I don't think he can, because I think that's like 7. But
If there's someone to do it, it's him.
right, so Khamzat Chimaev, for those of you who don't know, if you're watching this podcast, you know who Khamzat Chimaev is. You're kind of sleeping under a rock. Khamzat Chimaev had 2 fights within 10 days, in which he absolutely brutalized his opponents, and then he got Twitter famous after that. And so everybody was thinking, he's beating some bad dudes. He's okay, but he's going to get his comeuppance when he goes against a ranked fighter. He fought Gerald Mearshart. One punch knockout.
Heavy on.
1 punch knockout in 17 seconds. 17 seconds.
Watch that.
Oh yeah, I watched the
fight,
clips of it afterwards. Crazy.
Yeah.
Khamzat Chimaev is the new.
Well, it's not really crazy. It's more just like
Well,
one punch done.
It's definitely off factor.
Yeah.
It was a hard fucking right hand.
Yeah, they got.
So he will be fighting
Shame.
Stephen Wonderboy Thompson.
Oof. Great.
So Stephen
Great
Wonderboy
matchup.
Thompson. Do you know much about him?
Nope.
I was hoping you would. So I want to tell you about this guy.
Tell me.
Stephen Wonderboy Thompson was 9-1 before he ran into Tyron Woodley 2 years ago. They had a draw. He drew with Tyron Woodley when Tyron Woodley was in the middle of one of the greatest welterweight championship reigns at this point. Had a draw, and then lost a split decision in their second fight to Tyron Woodley.
Dude, I don't know about this guy then because Tyron Woodley sucks.
Tyron Woodley was 20 times better than what he was against Covington like 2 years ago.
Bro, I don't know. Dude, 2 years.
So
Anyway,
after that fight, he would go on to lose to Darren Till. And then he would recently beat, I believe in December, Vicente Luque, who's like a young up-and-comer. And that was Luque's only loss. Decent prospect. He's not the best, but it's a decent little win to get himself back in the win column.
interesting.
And now Chimaev is next. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson is probably 5 years older. I think that he will get killed by Chimaev.
I think he will get killed by Chimaev.
I think there's a good chance that if Wonderboy can survive this storm, he gets a shot on Chimaev.
Yeah. Want to know why I think he gets? Yeah, go ahead.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Go on.
You lost to Woodley, dude.
Dude, I'm telling you.
I'm telling you.
You didn't see Woodley when he was welterweight champ.
I don't need to.
You do.
Dude, if you lost him 2 years ago,
Dude, you're
You're
comparing.
trash.
Listen. Tyron Woodley has fallen from the graces, yes. Tyron Woodley also lost to Kamaru Usman, who's the greatest welterweight in the world, and Colby Covington, who's the second greatest welterweight in the world. That's all you're basing this off.
Snooze fest, dude. He's done.
He is a snooze fest, but he's also one of the greatest wrestlers in the UFC.
Yeah, and he has a draw with a tie with Wonderboy.
Wonderboy Thompson.
Yeah, he has a draw with him and a
Yep.
split decision win.
That's how good Thompson is. It's almost a knock on Woodley, not really. It's just saying a lot about Thompson.
Yeah, I mean, come on, all the way. I mean, put the deed.
I'm not
Put
ready
the
to put the
deed.
deed. I'm not ready to put the deed.
We texted about this. What, 3-4 days ago?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm
Yeah, we were
convinced.
texting Dylan.
Put the deed.
So that's gonna happen December 19th.
Hell
We'll be
yeah.
sure to be talking to you about that for the next couple weeks. We
People are
got
probably
only
like,
a couple
what the hell
minutes
does that
left.
mean?
We got only a couple minutes left, so I'm gonna bring this topic up real quick, and then we're gonna end it with Khabib Gaethje.
I'm ready.
We just talked about Colby Covington.
Yeah.
Colby Covington, it's not been announced yet, versus Jorge Masvidal to end the year. Something like December 30th. Do you know the
Great. Love the matchup.
Love the matchup. Do you know the backstory between these two?
Oh, no.
You don't?
But it makes total sense, bro.
Dude, Colby and Jorge were best friends for 10 years. They trained together when they were like 16 years old.
Wow.
And they lived together for years and years and years. And now they don't like each other anymore.
This is a great fight. Why
Yeah.
don't they like each other?
I have no idea. But
It's probably because of the whole.
I think it's Colby. Because
okay.
Did you see what Gaethje said about Colby? All right, so you know how Colby and Gaethje did a lot of promo shit with Donald Trump? Over the last couple of weeks, they've been doing like interviews with Trump, and like all three of them talked about the UFC and stuff like that. There was a reporter that just saw Gaethje on the street one day, like 2 days ago or something. He said, "Hey Justin, how was your experience with Trump? What do you think of Colby Covington?" Gaethje said, "I want to slap that dude in the face. He's the most fake person I've ever fucking met in my life." That's what Gaethje said about Covington. It's also known Joe Rogan exposed Covington as like the ultimate put up a show to get UFC buys. Like Colby,
No shit. But like that's his whole move. Like Floyd Mayweather, people
right? He's trying to
see Floyd Mayweather. They want to see Floyd get knocked out. That's why they pay the pay-per-view price to watch. Dude.
And Colby is. We just talked about WWE. The heel for the WWE, like he tries to get people to hate him. He's the best person in the UFC.
Oh, people hate
100%. He's
it's
the most
very
hated
easy
guy
to
in the
hate
UFC.
him, dude.
Did you see his interview after he beat Woodley?
Yeah.
I was just yelling at Usman.
Yeah.
But anyway, so this all started because right after his fight, he tweeted at Jorge Masvidal and he said something like, "Hey, Street Judas, are you ready to just put up or shut up because you wouldn't fight me back in the day?"
Dude, but that's what sells, dude.
Listen, Jorge versus Colby is a great matchup. Jorge will probably lose.
I think Kobe's winning.
I think Colby will
glad we're on the
down.
same page because I'm wondering, I'm like, this guy's going to choose Jorge.
I
It sounded
think-
like you were, but no.
I think Colby will take him down every
single
single round.
time. Every single time, dude.
Now,
Not every time, but he's going to take him down to the ground.
now Colby's tough standing up.
Bigger, he's more strong.
I would say Jorge's bigger. I think Jorge's probably bigger.
Muscle-wise or height-wise?
Both.
I think Kobe's got a muscle.
He might. I didn't watch his last fight, so I
Yeah.
don't really know exactly what he looks
No.
like. But
He looked beefy.
Yeah.
Like he could like run through a wall.
so Covington's the better wrestler. Jorge's slight advantage on the ground.
Yeah.
Jorge also has much better knockout power. Colby, I don't know if he's ever knocked
Flying
anyone
knee.
out.
Flying knee.
Flying knee and the knockout against Darren Till.
Yeah.
And he went 5 rounds with Usman on 6 days' notice. Whether he got
A
dominated
lot
or
of people
not,
in the UFC are saying that he's overrated.
Jorge? Well, there's no...
Think about it though. If you
I
really think
agree
about
with
it, you might say he's overrated because look at Nate Diaz, overrated as fuck, dude. Like, or not Nick Diaz.
Nate.
I'm sorry.
Nate.
It is Nate. All right. Nate Diaz, overrated, dude.
So Jorge had
He's
a win.
done. His career's done. Like,
Jorge had a win against Till, where he deserved the knockout.
no, he deserved. No, he deserved it.
He deserved the knockout, but he did get lucky against
But
Askren.
What is Till done?
But hold on. But
Okay.
he deserved the knockout, but he did get lucky, knocking out Askren with the flying knee. and then he got a doctor stoppage win against Nate Diaz. That's 3 fights in a row that it's like that's your whole career right there.
I know.
And you could have lost all 3.
Yeah.
Maybe not the Till one, but like, if
Yeah.
shit went another way. But that's the sport at the end of the day.
Yeah, I know.
You
That's
what I mean?
that's what gets the hype factor going. So.
But then, I mean, for 6 days' notice, Masvidal didn't do bad against Usman either. He won the first round, and then got absolutely destroyed in the last 4.
6 days notice, yeah. I mean, he did go 5 rounds with them, which is impressive. But I mean, we kind of predicted that.
Yeah, we did.
We predicted him.
I thought
going
Usman
the
would
distance.
finish him, but I thought it was going to be a tough fight that would go long.
Yeah. I don't know. I think.
All right.
I don't know.
We got 2 more minutes left. Khabib Gaethje. Have you seen all of the fucking videos that Khabib's been posting?
No.
Dude, Khabib is posting so many videos of him just going batshit on heavy bags. Like, fucking bags up. Nailing him. He's got the beard going on. He isn't shaven. Like, he looks like a monster right now. Monster.
Indeed.
Gaethje could win. Gaethje could win. He's not going to.
No.
He's not going to, but he could win.
No.
I don't know. No. Dude, Gaethje is a better boxer than Khabib. Conor was a better boxer than Khabib, too. Gaethje is an all-American wrestler. Gaethje might be able to keep Khabib off him for the first round. He will not be able to keep Khabib off him for every round. But Gaethje could catch Khabib. Dude, he could catch him.
Dude, every video, like, Khabib rolls with people that are heavyweights, dude, and they say it's like rolling with a heavyweight. He just...
Yeah, well, Khabib rolls with Daniel Cormier. Daniel Cormier is like 100 pounds heavier than Khabib.
Like we said before, though, Gaethje's been knocked out.
Right. Khabib,
you can't.
Khabib,
you never. No. We gotta stop messing around. It's Khabib. It's no one. It's not.
It is.
It's Khabib.
It is.
You can't.
It is.
It's Khabib. It's
going to be a great fight, though.
It's not even going to be a great fight. It's going to be Khabib.
No, it's going to be a great fight.
Oh, it's going to be a great fight. It's going to be Khabib.
Listen,
a great fight for Khabib.
Gaethje had the most impressive performance I've ever seen from him against Tony Ferguson. That fight was like...
Tony Ferguson's lost a lot of people.
No, he hasn't.
Yeah.
Tony Ferguson's lost to one guy in the UFC, Justin Gaethje.
That's it?
Yeah. He had the longest active winning streak.
He did?
He had 14 wins in the UFC. Gaethje had the most... Dude, that fight was so good.
Dude, his dad died.
I know. And he's going to be... Yeah. Dude. Khabib's dad passed away a couple months ago, and ever since then he's been training. He says he wants to win for his father and all that. All right, so we're not going to talk about this too much because you guys got to tune in next week, and we're going to be talking about it a little bit more. That fight's not scheduled till November 18th? October 18th?
October 24th.
October 24th. So that will be coming in about almost 4 weeks' time. We'll be discussing that in depth over the next couple of weeks. I'm sure you get bored of it, so we're not going to go overboard right now. And that's basically going to do it. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Everybody who did. Once again, you're watching MMA Complete with Zach Draper and my co-host, Austin Garvey. Thank you, everybody who did come in and tune in.
Technical difficulties.
Little technical difficulties. We're going to get through it. We're going to be...
It's fun.
We got to get better every time. Just a little bit. Just get better a little bit every time.
Yeah.
So this...
Baby steps.
This is being brought to you by myself and Austin. It's also being brought to you by Sports Fan Base Network Rhode Island. Check us out, sfbnri.com. You can also check us out on any social medias. If you type in SFBNRI, we'll be there. You get to check out a bunch of our articles. We have about 10 different podcasts.
What's the name of the boxing?
Legendary Boxing.
Legendary Boxing.
So we aren't on location right now at Legendary Boxing, but they are one of our biggest sponsors and one of our biggest friends over at SFBNRI. Legendary Boxing Gym, owned and operated by Jared Tillingass. Shout out to Jared and Todd Chattel over there at Legendary Boxing. Great crew over there. Thank you, everybody who did come in.
He coaches, right?
Yeah, he coaches.
Yeah.
He said he's retired, but he looks too good. He's not retired. Nah, he's not retired.
You're never retired.
All right, and that's basically going to do it for us. So everybody who did tune in, thank you so much, and we are out of here.